everyone, my name is Hwang and I'll be presenting on my arc length project. So the path that I chose for my project is a polygon, and it is the route that I take to walk my dog starting from my house, going around a couple streets, and going back onto my street to my house. So in order to find the distance of this route, I needed to find the length of these straight lines as well as these curves. So I used the Google Maps measuring tool to find the length of these three straight lines, which as you can see is 160 feet, 572 feet, and then 258 feet. And by using the arc length formula, I will be able to find the distance, the length of these two curves. Starting with the curve, the segment on the left, I will be using this red line as the x-axis, and which I have created a point that is 0, 0, and using this 0, 0 as my reference point, I have found that by using the x-axis and the y-axis, I've been able to create points along the curve such as -70, 105, and -240, 245. So using these 3 points, as you can see in the table, I plotted them onto a graphing program and was able to determine the curve of which would satisfy these 3 points. And the function that they gave me was f of x equals -0.00281 x squared minus 1.6973 x plus 4.6259 times 10 to the -18. Now to use the arc length formula, you need to have the derivative of this function, which is -0.00563 x minus 1.6973. In the arc length formula, as shown right here, there are limits, and the limits for this particular segment is from -240 to 0, and I just plugged in the f prime x into where it calls for it in the formula, and by when I calculated it out, I found that the length of this segment was 349.551 feet. Now onto the second one. So using the same x-axis, this red line, and the same 0, 0 point, I was able to plot points like I did in the previous segment. So for example, some of the points I have is 50, 25, 100, 40, and that follows all these different points all the way up to 702, 318. The rest of the points are plotted on the table and the graph. And again, I use the graphing program to find a curve that fits what my route is right over here. So I use the function that they provided, which is 4.5136 times e times 10 to the -6 x cubed minus 0.00398 x squared plus 0.99138 x minus 10.7541. Again, I need to take the derivative of this, which is 0.0000135 x to the squared minus 0.00797 x plus 0.99139. So the limits for this segment is from 0 to 702, and again, I just plugged in f prime of x into the formula, and I found that the length of this segment was 824.462. So to sum it all up, I need to, in order to find the total distance that I'm walking with my dogs, I need to add the 3 straight edges that I measured earlier in the PowerPoint, 160, 572, and 258, along with the 2 distances I had just calculated using the arc length formula, 349.551 and 824.462. And this equals to about 2,164.013 feet, or when you convert it to miles, it is 0.4098 miles. as you can see from the picture below, the actual distance that is provided by Google Maps is 0.416 miles, which is very close to what I got. It's about a 1.5% error, which is actually very accurate, as you can see using the arc length formula. Thank you for listening to my presentation, and I hope you enjoyed it.